Heyo, it is I, Instructor White. Um, for the record, I'm going to be posting most of my videos by way of YouTube so that I don't have to deal with the 5 minute requirement on Canvas in order to upload them. You are welcome to do that the same way. You can go through and do it from your phone, whatever. However works best for you is absolutely fine. I just got used to doing YouTube videos so that they can automatically generate captions because I have found that that tends to make life a little bit easier for people. Um, so, hi, I am Instructor White. I've lived in Missouri for most of my life. Outside of grad school, I left state, but otherwise, I've been here. I'm originally from down in the Ozarks, but I've been here in St. Louis for over a decade now. Wow, I've been at Lindenwood for a decade now. That's crazy. Um, Obviously, being, here, the one who is running this class, then I majored in English, uh, at least by the time I was done with my college degree. I actually went in for physics, which was going great until I got to the point that all I was doing was calculus, which I am very bad at and do not enjoy. So it was time for me to kind of change gears. That landed me in English. Um, I happened to take an elective my senior year that was called folklore, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I went on to graduate school to get an advanced degree in folklore as well, which kind of short version means I study what people do, say, make, and believe. My area of interest is primarily verbal, so stories, songs type stuff. Um, Folklore exists in sort of a weird space because it is kind of a humanities, but it's also kind of a social sciences. We use elements of both. Um, so I've had to do like a lot of qualitative research. One of my personal interests is actually structuralism, which means kind of just looking at the way that stories are set up, but that also bleeds over into everything else that I do, which means one of the things that I bring to this course that you might not get from all of the other professors here at Lindenwood or at other universities is that I am very aware of what the spoken and unspoken conventions are of academic writing. Like I think about it, and I have broken it down in my head into more of a framework than I have found a lot of composition professors necessarily do. And I say all that to say, if you're not normally an Englishy type person, if this class makes you a little bit nervous, if you've struggled with English or writing classes in the past, the way that I'm approaching it, um, it could help. Just because I am bringing in more of that, guy who wanted to be a physicist until he found out that that required calculus. If I could have stayed with trig forever, then I would have been fine. What I hope that everybody can get out of this class is a lot more comfort critically analyzing things, um, comfort reading, comfort writing, comfort communicating. Basically, I just want people to be more comfortable with writing. I know a lot of you are probably not going to take any English classes that are not a requirement for general education. Um, the vast majority of the people who take composition 2 are, in fact, not English majors. But the things that you're learning in here should translate and make life a little bit easier for you in a lot of those other classes in terms of um, getting more comfortable with like APA formatting, um, how to cite, when to cite, how to find research, how to evaluate research, um, logical structuring of arguments. I'm talking like symbolic structuring or symbolic logic, that kind of thing uh, is part of what I'm going to be bringing into our class. So I hope that that translates through and makes life easier for a lot of you. Um, Outside of school stuff, I do live here in St. Louis. I'm actually recording this during some thunderstorms. I don't know how audible that is back there, or whether my noise canceling is actually getting rid of some of it. Um, I am married. I've been married for thir 13 years now. That doesn't sound right. Almost 12 years. Um, sorry, getting to that point in the day where the meds are starting to wear off a little bit. Um, I am a huge fan of Marvel, as my icon probably made fairly clear. Not so much keeping up on the movies, but I'm an old school comic book guy, and I was very excited for the first decade of the movies, but it's a lot now. Um, I have two kids. One's going into kindergarten next year, and the other one is going into third grade. Sorry, I had to stop and double check my numbers on that one, even though I'm the one who drops them off every day. Um, my partner actually teaches here in St. Louis as well at one of the local high schools. She is also an English teacher. Um, so, needless to say, story time in our house is absolutely a very big deal. Um, I am a casual computer guy. I used to be very into computers, but working so many jobs and taking care of so many people means that not I'm not quite as up on stuff as I had been for a while. But if you do run into tech problems that are not just straight up Canvas is broken, I might be able to help with some of that. Um, I really enjoy cooking. Both of my children are picky eaters, which is slightly less favorite, I will say. Um, but I do enjoy baking. I've kind of learned some of the basics of a lot of the uh, major techniques and cuisines from around the world. So, very basic French, English, Italian, Irish, um, East African. Um, one of my close friends is from Colombia, so I've learned a little bit about South American cooking as well. Um, one of my best friends from high school is a major weeb, so I've gotten to learn a lot about Japanese cooking for whenever he comes to visit. Um, very basic Americanized Chinese and also some Hong Kong. I had a neighbor who uh, grew up in a Chinese restaurant. His parents were from Hong Kong originally, and he taught me a few tricks whenever I lived by him as well, in addition to obviously American. Um, so that is a major interest of mine. I'm trying to pick back up running right now. I had been a not fast runner, but daily runner for quite a while. Um, and during the pandemic, then I switched up my medication situation, and suddenly I didn't feel like I had to run away from tigers all the time inside of my brain. So I just kind of took a couple of years off of running, but I'm looking to get back into it some this summer, just so that I'm not, bored and listless. Um, I did actually just buy my first house in spring of 2024. So I'm still working on doing stuff with that, trying to get everything fixed from the last people who lived here and repaired a whole lot of things in very unusual ways. Um, currently working on getting my garden set up, and I may record some videos later in the semester where you hear weird noises in the background because I'm looking to get chickens right around the same time our class starts this summer. So that's me. I'm a person. I do stuff. Um, what about you guys?